One from James Mackenzie. He says Nicola Sturgeon was asked whether a climate emergency means North Sea oil should be left in the ground, but she didn't appear to give a direct answer. Well, let's hear what our panel think about this. From a Conservative perspective, what do you think, Jamie?
Yeah, look, I mean, the North Sea oil and gas industry is so important, so vital to the Scottish economy. There are tens of thousands of jobs that it creates and supports. We are very happy to support that industry. Our new oil and gas deal will support it. And I think it's very unfortunate that the Labour Party and it seems the SNP have taken a real back step on this and not willing to support those jobs in the North East and elsewhere.
Is supporting the oil industry, though, now counter to dealing with climate change?
Well, I don't think so, because I mean, I was very proud and pleased in the Scottish Parliament to support the climate change bill that I think all members on the panel here, their party supported it. Unfortunately, the Green Party didn't support it, ironically. They're not here to defend themselves. But we sign up to the notion that Scotland could be a leading light in climate change. But I don't think that is entirely reconciled with the idea that the oil and gas industry it should be to the counter-argument. You know, the industry is changing, technology is changing very quickly, and I know so many people and families who are reliant on that industry. I don't think you can switch that off overnight.
I think that's right. You shouldn't switch it off overnight, but we do need to have a just transition towards a more sustainable economy using greater renewable resources, which is why
should we stop burning fossil fuels?
I think gradually over time we will do that. I think technology will allow that to happen, and that's why we're pledging to invest significant sums in offshore renewables, but also insulation as well, so we can reduce our demand on things like North Sea oil.
Well, Adam, our experience in Scotland is that if you rely on market forces to deliver the change that we need to see, it won't happen. So we've got workers at the Bifab yards in Fife who are out of work while they are seeing an offshore wind development 10 yards off the coast of Fife being built in Indonesia. So there is a need for greater planning in the economy to make that transition so that we utilise the skills that people have got and utilise the industrial infrastructure that we've got.
But encourage the oil industry in Scotland?
Well, you're just going to tax it, Richard. Tell people about the Aberdeen tax and why you want to tax the industry and cut jobs.
We are talking about a green industrial revolution because we think the time for delay has gone. We need to start acting urgently, and we want to see the transition starting now.
What about SNP?
This is a climate emergency, and we've got to accept our responsibilities for future generations and the responsibility to the planet. I think there is a degree of consensus on the responsibility that we have, that we mustn't harm the economy as we make that transition. We need to make sure that we quicken the pace to renewable energy, that we quicken the pace to the use of electric cars, for example. We all need to work together on that.
But all of that's going to be a loss for Scotland's oil industry.
No, it won't, because we've got to make sure that we actually develop leadership in these areas. Now, look, just to give you one example, we have gas production facilities not far from here at the moment. We can make gas from waste. It's how we actually transition towards that. We need to make sure that we're in the vanguard of that change, that Scotland has a green industrial future, so we can attract jobs, we can attract... Look, what I'm talking about is making sure that we take the right measures, that we stimulate sustainable economic growth, but we reduce our carbon footprint. And we do it earlier than we're currently intending.
We're going to have something there. Literally, you've all got about 20-30 seconds. Why should people vote Conservative in Scotland?
I think this election is a very clear choice for people in Scotland. My party have three simple messages to voters. We say no to another independence referendum. We had that argument, we had that debate, and we said no. Get Brexit sorted, get Brexit delivered, because people are sick and tired of the division, and let's move on, because we have to move on and talk about the issues that really matter to people.
Why Labour?
Well, because this is not a referendum on a referendum, it's a general election, at the end of which we will decide on either a Labour or a Tory government. And the choice before the people is, do they want Boris Johnson for 5 more years in Downing Street, or do they want Jeremy Corbyn leading a Labour government which is progressing investment in our public services, ending the era of austerity and the squeeze that working people have felt?
Liberal Democrats?
If you want to stop Brexit, stop independence, build a brighter future, climate emergency, mental health, and boosting the education system, you need to vote Liberal Democrat.
It is about stopping Brexit, it's about stopping Boris. There's a real threat to Scotland being taken out of the European Union against its will, damaging our autonomy, damaging our communities. We can stop that. We can make sure in this election, which is a straight fight between the SNP and Tories, and I appeal to everyone, those that have supported Labour and Liberal Democrats, to support us, to stop the Tories and make sure that Scotland has its right to have its own choice on its future.
On that note, that is the end of our Scottish debate. My thanks indeed.